G'day, welcome back to the Chaos Club. First up, quick bit of fabrication, then we're off to Heathcote. Racing starts about 9 minutes. Righto, so after my little family outing cruise the other day and then a brief trip to Mexico, I noticed she was down on power a little bit, which is unusual. Usually you don't like holding it flat anywhere too often on a road. And checked the logs, she was down on boost a little bit. Had a bit of a look, and unsurprisingly that plug lead had gone again. So all the way along I'd stuffed this runner up from the get-go, and I tried to fix it originally, but it was never quite right. Plug lead was always too close, always get hot. It's been an issue in the past. I put up with it for ages. It's really given me the shits. So now it's time to commit. Seems like there's not much else left. Everything's all pretty Mickey Mouse now. I'm kind of happy with most of it, believe it or not. So I'm going to probably lop that off, remake this section as a log manifold. I'm running a OSA manifold on that side, so it's not really going to be any different to that. So just hopefully make some room, sort some heat issues out, and fix it. Alright, so I got my manifold all pulled off. I originally made this manifold when it was a alloy block 5.7, stock bottom end deal, did the job fine. It's the second manifold I've ever made. Basically what it is a poorly executed copy of some of Kiloboost's early ones. I made them on this jig over here, which doesn't have the spark plugs in it, so I ended up messing up a little bit, didn't quite have enough clearance, so bolted on the head. I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to reuse this section of it. I'm going to make up a jig that holds the turbo placement, so hopefully I don't mess that up. And I'm going to go back to the drawing board and remake this pretty much as a log manifold, or as a log manifold. My goals are, I want a 9-second manual, reliable radial car that I can put my family in and just go for a cruise. So don't think that's too much to ask for, but I'll just keep chipping away at it until I got it. So today's project. So that's that deconstructed. It wasn't the worst manifold. I did put a fair bit of effort into it, as you can see. It's not a bad merge, not too bad. There's a few ugly welds. Messed up a few things here and there. You can see that big white patch right there. That's where the plug lead melted. So I'm gonna add that to my wall of shame. I can go out there with everything else. Let me know, do you like time lapses or not? Should I stick with them? Or give it the arse? Leave a comment and let me know. Alright, so skip ahead a few steps. Got my log manifold all tacked up, sitting in place. Not perfect, but I'm short on time and materials, so it's going to be fine. It's taken me a bit of time. Some people don't know I've got a bit of a condition, and which can make things really hard for like friends and family and work colleagues, where I've just got to do things the hard way all the time. So in this instance, I'm trying to make this log manifold go from this 1.5 inches at this end to 2.5 inches at that end. So it's caused me to do things a bit different than normal, but can't help it. Just happens every time I try and do something. I'm going to run with it. So tons more lead clearance, fits in there perfect, turbo's in the same spot. The crossover pipe matches up, sweet. So happy days, weld her up and get on with it. Now, this probably goes without saying, but I've got no idea what I'm doing here. I found this bit in the tools that came with it. Thought maybe that might work. So maybe this might work. We'll see. I'm going to call that a fail. Alright, so I've fixed up my fly cutter. I've actually upskilled overnight, so now I've gone from completely winging it to 2 minutes of a 4-minute YouTube video. So I should be covered. Apparently my feed and cutting speeds and everything were way too fast. I've never actually used high-speed steel cutting bits before. I just buy all the carbide ones and send it. So let's see what happens. May take a while. Cut to the time lapse. So that was a success in the end. It was a bit of a mission starting off, figuring it all out, but I'm pretty happy with how it's come up. I probably could have sent it off to someone else, got it done. Would have been quicker, not cost all that much. You know, probably would have done a better job too. Would I have learned anything? Not really. Would I have any job satisfaction out of it? No. So anyway, there we go. I've learned a lot. I'm satisfied with the job. Happy days. And there she is, all back in. Excuse the burnt paint, we'll sort that out. That's that plug lead that used to burn, obviously. Look at that, nice 2-finger gap now, just the way we like it. Should be heaps better. Everyone's all worried about going back to a log manifold or whatever and losing power, but honestly, I think it's gonna run a whole lot harder running on 8 cylinders and with 2 burnt plug leads all the time, so should be all right. We'll get it on the dyno, check our mile an hour at the track, doesn't seem to lie. And we will see. I'm confident that it's still going to be just fine. Can't wait. Pretty happy with how that's come up. Let's do it. Rightio, just giving her a quick wash and a quick nut and bolt. Butt dyno, if anything's telling me I haven't lost any horsepower out of this manifold, and if anything, I have a feeling it might have been losing a bit of spark higher up in the RPM. So tomorrow, weather's done a complete backflip. Instead of raining horrible, it's 20 and perfectly clear at Heathcote. I'm about to load her up, and we'll see you from the track. Rightio, so I've made it to Heathcote. Took the worst possible route through Melbourne for some reason, but anyway, we got here, 3 hours and 30 minutes or whatever it was. Bit of a trip. It's a beautiful day, there's a few cars rolling in now. Been through scrutineering already. Even if I brake, I've got Mark Drew's crusty Tirana over my shoulder here. Can't wait to have a look at that thing and see how that goes. So with any luck, we'll get her off the line. We'll do a bit better than last time. Might as well go and line up early in case I break her again. I want to be holding everyone up. A bit of a concern. Alright, about to line up now. As well as trying to operate 5 cameras and everything else, I'm going to try and use the handbrake on the start line. 2. Not going to worry about my reaction time this time. That's personal best. Not too bad. 164 in the 60 foot. Shit up. That's good. Man, that'll do. 689 in that 8. So that's all PBs. Shit up. Good beauty. Any pass and I get to drive it back. Pretty happy with it at the moment, and that's personal best on everything. So it went, reaction time was rubbish because I didn't care. 164 in the 60, 330 was 4.5, 660 was 6.89. I think that's the fastest I've gone. 105 mile an hour in the 8th, so that's not a personal best. I've gone quicker than that in the 8th. 1000 foot 8.92. PT 1050 at 138, so not too bad to start anyway. Let's go. Alright, so I've gone through my logs and everything looks really good. Happy with fuel pressure, oil pressure, all that stuff is working awesome. It didn't spin. The boost, I'm aiming for about 20 pound of boost, and it didn't make that until third above 100 mile an hour. So what I can do is I'm going to put some more in. This is my table for my PWM table for my boost output. So I've got RPM on one side and then I've got my speed sensor input on the other side. So that means I can vary it depending on what speed I'm in, which is virtually what gear I'm in. So anything up to 100 mile an hour, I'm going to put a bit more into it. So 100% or below 3.5, because it doesn't make boost until above that anyway. So it's only this little section up here. I've got to add a bit more percentage into the PWM and hopefully go a bit faster again. We will see. I'll tell you what, the old Flanny might be the epitome of all occasion safety gear, but they're definitely not the coolest. It's warm enough. plugs I put in there. Cheers, bud.
No worries, man.
Yeah, a little bit slower that time. 175, 60, 46, 330, 69, 660, 106 again in the 8, and 1060 and 139. So a mile per hour a bit faster. So turning it up a little bit, because I think I'm going to get those plugs. Adios, so I might have turned it up a little bit hard there. Left the line on 7.7 pound of boost. Hit 14.7 pound in first, which is pretty good. It didn't spin, so it doesn't really matter. But it was breaking up a little bit, I could feel it. So I think the plug caps, I'm going to have to tighten them up a little bit. Anyway, in third, the boost went over. It spiked a little bit. We got to 25.7 pound in third. And then fourth, it only ended up making, settled out at 20 pound, which is, I hadn't played with that, so that's what it was all about. So I might tone it down just a fraction, might pull the plugs, cap them, and then try again. Don't know how many passes I'm going to do. I might pull the pin early enough. I just want to at least get one more in, clean up those issues, and then see what it does. Hopefully not break it. It's always that one last pass though, isn't it? Every time. Alright, so I've just recapped the plugs. Can do it without taking the dump pipe off. It's a little bit tricky, but it's doable, so that's a win. So I'm going to send it one last time, we'll see what happens. Audio. I know this is a bit hard to see, about as hard as selling a mirror online. That red line there, It's on my two-step, goes along, drop it in first. Then I pedalled it and played around while I was looking for my gear knob and wondering if my suspension was falling apart. And you can see in fourth, it's been doing this all day. It's breaking up there. It's not a nice clean climbing line. So there's something still going on with the spark. So anyway, go home, have a good think about that and try and work out why my two-step's banging so much. Otherwise, I reckon that's about it for me today. Rightio, that's going to be it for me from Heathcote today. It wasn't a success, but it was definitely progress. Driven it on the trailer, so that's a win. Alright, it's 4 o'clock, I've got 3 hours to drive home. So give it a like and a share, so maybe I don't have to go to work tomorrow next time. Alright, see you on the next one.